welcome to episode 54 of Bonus Features with Alex and Robert. I'm Alex.
And I'm Robert.
And today we're going to talk about movies and stuff. But before we get to that, it's time for our 2-minute pointless interlude of sports. So, Cubs.
They're really struggling right now, currently.
Yeah, so Robert doesn't really want to talk about it too much.
Well, I mean, I'm hoping they'll be able to pull it out, but it's just we knew this division was going to be really rough because there really isn't a prototypical shitty team. Like the Reds are not great and the Pirates aren't very good, but they've been giving every other quote-unquote contender in this division fits for the whole year, so it's just been one of those years.
But aren't the Pirates still pretty clearly in last place?
You know, it's kind of they're duking it out with the Reds right now. Yeah. But even then, like there are some days where I'm like the Cubs just don't look like the best team. The Cardinals don't look like the best team. There's not really a prototypical worst or best team in this division right now.
Gotcha.
So.
Yeah, and then preseason started with foosball.
The Bears are 0-2.
Oh no!
Woe is us.
We're 0-2 in the preseason. You know what that means? Preseason is everything. Just ask the Lions from that one year. The preseason champs.
Oh, yes.
That went 0-16 in the regular season. All right, yeah, so that does it for football. UFC, as of this recording, the rematch. Stipe versus Daniel Cormier. That should be an interesting one.
Yeah. Is that tomorrow?
Yeah. Oh, yes. As of this recording, it is tomorrow. I wonder who's gonna poke who in the eye first.
Has to happen.
Seems like it. I don't know. I mean, it was weird. I rewatched it and I thought they both have heavy hands when they box. So, I want to say Cormier is probably gonna win in a 5-round decision.
Okay, that's quite a bold prediction.
Not really, because I think what they're going to...
It's at least a specific one.
Well, sometimes my specific predictions are way off. And then
one time
I was kind of close with Cejudo.
Yeah.
Because I said, he's going to get hurt real bad and come back, and he kind of did that. I was just wrong about the round.
Yeah.
But they got that. I recently watched the free one on ESPN. Colby Covington won a sort of boring fight over... Who was it? Not Dos Anjos. Oh, Lawler.
Yeah, right.
Which I was disappointed.
Actually, you know what? I was watching that fight.
Yeah.
It was pretty goddamn sad to watch because, he was just letting him have it. And, there was so many moments where it was
you're them. When is Robbie Lawler going to snap out of it? And then he never did.
Yeah, it was really rough to watch. And those... Pretty much for most of it.
Yeah, that was the story of the night, and unfortunately, that just sucks for Lawler because he kind of got screwed over in the... I would say it's, I understand Herb Dean's point of view on the fight where he got it called early against Ben Askren. Because, he might have tapped or he might have gone out, or, might have tapped eventually or might have gone out eventually, but it looked like he still had some fight in him, So it just sucks that this is a second loss in a row.
Sure.
I don't know. There's always good cards on the horizon. What's it called? I just forgot. Khabib Poirier. That's coming up soon.
That'll be a battle.
That'll be a good one. I still think Khabib's got it. I don't want to say easily, but I'm going to say easily.
I don't blame you.
He's just a destroyer.
Arguably the best one.
Yeah, pretty much at this point. So that'll do it for UFC, foosball, and baseball. And I haven't really been following what's happening with trades with hockey, other than we got Shaw back.
Yeah.
But that's old news.
NBA madness has quieted down.
Yeah, so we'll just have to wait till October when sports really start up again. So now moving on to the news. And this is episode 54, and the theme, of course, is Comic-Con Special! Kinda, sorta. Some of the stories are Comic-Con, some of them aren't. Anyway, so the big announcement from Comic-Con, obviously, was Marvel announced their slate for Phase 4. That includes the feature films Black Widow, The Eternals, Shang-Chi, Doctor Strange, and Thor. And the specific dates, Black Widow is coming out May 1st, 2020. The Eternals is November 6th, 2020. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, February 21st, 2021. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, May 7th, 2021. Thor Love and Thunder, November 5th, 2021. Additionally, the slate included the Disney Plus series, which we kind of already knew about, but now it's just official. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, fall 2020. Should have done it with the first thing this way, where I read the date and the... Anyway, WandaVision, spring 2021. Loki, spring 2021. What If, the animated series, that is, summer 2021. Hawkeye, summer 2021. A couple other things didn't have dates, but or didn't even have seasons, rather, but were also announced. Mahershala Ali has been cast as Blade. They also announced that down on the horizon at some point, Fantastic Four, Captain Marvel 2, Black Panther 2, and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Most of those we pretty much knew. So, your thoughts on this big old-fashioned slate announcement?
And to think there was a point where we were doubting whether or not Disney was even going to show up with any MCU news.
As I told you, that was bullshit. There's no way that both Warner Brothers and Disney/Marvel were gonna be no-shows.
They pretty much laid it all out for us, what they're gonna be doing for the next 2 or 3-ish years, and 2-ish years. But yeah, you know what's weird is there are a couple like sleeper announcements, like the slate announcement overall. I'm not super surprised. There are a couple surprises here and there, some of which weren't the best surprises, but whatever.
Yeah, I hear you.
But there were like a couple sleeper surprise announcements where I'm like, wow. Okay, that's awesome. Mahershala Ali is Blade.
Right.
Hell yeah, let's go. The dude's awesome. He's a 2-time Academy Award nominated or winning performer. He's just a good all-around actor, and I could totally see him taking over the role that Wesley Snipes made famous. And I've even heard some rumors that Wesley Snipes might be involved in some way, not necessarily as Blade, but as a different character or whatever.
I'd be cool with that.
Yeah, and like the TV show announcements, I'm like, whatever. I heard some stuff, though, that they said that Falcon and the Winter Soldier, WandaVision, and Loki will all be like less than 10 episodes. So like either between 6 and 8. Because I know we said Falcon and the Winter Soldier is definitely 6. But they said WandaVision and Loki are going to be like between 6 and 8 at max. And like... probably not going to be it's probably still not going to be ponying up money for Disney Plus, but that's encouraging because like I don't want to. I can't do the whole 20 episodes a season model anymore, man. It's too much of a commitment.
Yeah, but what? Okay, so what you're saying is you might do the first month because the first month is $6 or something crazy? $7 for the first month.
Especially now knowing that I think they said I don't know who exactly said this, but they said something to the effect of like there are going to be things that happen in WandaVision, in Falcon and Winter Soldier that will connect to the MCU movies that you won't know about unless you watch the shows. So that sucks.
Except it's like, you know what? I don't care. I'm going to be one of those pick and choosers from now on. See, I used to be a go to every one.
That's what I'm wrestling with.
Well, see, I got to be honest. Most of the slate is not that exciting. And I think we've kind of touched upon this before, but we'll break it down. So Black Widow. That's probably the thing I'm most excited about out of all of this.
And we'll get into more. We have some Black Widow news coming up, so we'll go into a little bit more depth on that. But I agree with you.
The Eternals, I'm just like, I'm not into this cosmic shit. Mm-hmm. I want me some pugilism, damn it.
Right.
Shang-Chi could be good, except they chose a director who doesn't make, fisticuffs movies. So what the fuck? We've talked about that before.
Had some
However, or I was just going to say, this time, the addition of the 10 Rings, that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
and the real Mandarin, who's actually an Iron Man villain, so that's like extremely inaccurate. No, that's fine. It's cool. You know what? I can work with that. Cause
how do you feel about the casting with Simu Liu and Tony Leung Chu Wai? Is that the guy?
Don't know the other guy. Well, actually, I don't know either of them, but Simu Liu, he's a martial artist. Shock of the century. Everyone hide under your bunkers. The end is nigh. They cast a martial artist. Oh, I'm sorry. This is in addition to the casting of Sub-Zero last time we talked about. 2 martial arts roles cast with martial artists.
Right.
Oh my God, the sky is falling.
Right.
No, I mean, I'm fine with him. But it's not one of those really, really obvious choices, you know? Mm-hmm. It's not like Joe Taslim.
Right. Or Ego Uwais.
Yeah, exactly. Where you look at the IMDb and you say, okay, I know exactly who this is. Mm-hmm. So, it's just the directors. I'm still hung up on that shit.
Well, yeah, I know what you mean.
And I can't. Well, yeah. Oh, right.
Yeah.
And they had to cast what's her face, Awkwafina. Hey, do you like hating actors because they're in everything? Yes. Well, here's a new one. She's the new Chris Pratt, who I had nothing really against them, but you just kept putting them in shit, and you just keep putting them everywhere, and now I hate her.
No, I feel you.
Are you happy? Are you happy, guys?
I get that. Like, a lot of people find her grating, and it's going to be a turnoff for some people, I'd imagine. Unless, I mean, depending on the role, I don't know.
I think that's the one thing, is that maybe this is her chance to turn it around. Who knows?
Could be.
I'm always willing. Because I remember not too long ago, well, actually kind of a long time ago, I remember in 2004 or 5-ish, Leonardo DiCaprio, oh, what a dork, man, I hate him. Mm-hmm. Then all of a sudden I watched this movie, Blood Diamond, and I thought, do I care that his character's about to die? I'm confused. I like this fella all of a sudden.
Oh, man.
You know what I mean? And they're like, wait a minute. He's like a good actor now. What the hell happened?
And then he started making movies, or a lot of movies with Martin Scorsese, and you're like, wait a minute.
Oh, yeah.
Is he one of the best actors working?
Yeah. It's all of a sudden... I'm not saying she's going to have a turnaround like that just from a Marvel movie, but who knows? It could be a turnaround.
Sure.
She's also playing a villain, or that's what I heard.
Okay, so that's interesting.
So that's good, because that's like, good, fuck you.
I'd never heard of that.
Yeah.
Or I hadn't heard that, so that's...
It was just some rumor shit. I don't know if it's true. Just a rumor.
Sure.
So then there's that. Doctor Strange Into the Multiverse of Madness. So I'm kind of... I know I don't give a shit about this, but they add Scarlet Witch in there, and I say, I see what you're doing. Mm-hmm. You're trying to make me interested. It only kind of worked. Mm-hmm. But I'm staying strong. Damn it, I'm gonna be selective.
See, I felt a similar way. I looked at it and I'm like, oh, so this might be not the same thing again. Like, there might be different elements. It's not just Doctor Strange fighting a new baddie. It's him and somebody else there too, like a Civil War, or not Civil War. It's like a Winter Soldier type thing with Cap and Falcon, perhaps. Who knows? Could be okay.
Yeah. How do you think WandaVision's going to play into that?
They said
probably.
They said yeah. It's going to tie into it.
Obviously, yeah.
Yeah. So I wonder.
I don't know
if I'm going to watch it, and I probably still won't watch it. But
I wonder how much though, because are they saying it's legit going to be like a movie entry in terms of importance?
WandaVision?
Well, yeah, all of these shows.
Or is it said, yeah.
Okay, I'm having a little bit of doubt on that one. I feel like it's going to be like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., where, because I was watching the season before Winter Soldier, just a couple episodes, and yeah, it made Winter Soldier make a little more sense, but you really didn't need it.
Well, to be honest, and to be quite frank, Marvel really hasn't given a flying fuck about the TV tying into the movies. They've said that they have, but they haven't really delivered on that, and they haven't done it with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. They said they were going to do it with the Daredevil and the Daredevil universe shows, Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, but they didn't do it.
We knew that was never going to happen.
So maybe this will be their chance to put their money where their mouth is and make something to make a multimedia sort of cinematic universe. Actually, because I know like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. it takes place in the MCU, but like, come on, man,
yeah.
It wasn't really that like ingrained in the fucking universe.
Yeah, it's like, oh look, it's a piece of a chip off Iron Man's armor. Can we call him? Nope.
Yeah.
Where is it? We can't. We just gotta clean it up. We're the janitors. That's what this show is. We're janitors basically.
Iron Man, have you heard about this new villain? His name is, or this new hero, this new vigilante. His name's Ghost Rider. Who?
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he wasn't at any of our big Avenger battles or anything.
You guys want to hear about this absorbing man guy? So Thanos is fighting.
Yeah. So back to real threats. Yeah. I don't see. I think this. I feel like it's going to be in between. Mm-hmm. I feel like it's going to be sort of like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., where obviously it ties in, but I think I have a hard time believing it'll be like a straight up movie. in terms of story importance.
Look at the timing. So WandaVision comes out in early 2021, they say, and Doctor Strange is in that summer. So it could be a nice little prelude, or who knows.
My question is, how is Vision going to play into all of this?
I have no idea. I have no idea how Vision's dead ass is going to play in this, because he's dead.
Yeah, he's never coming back. We know that death is very permanent in the Marvel universe.
Right. But he didn't get unsapped.
Apparently, it only is with my favorite fucking characters.
I guess so. God.
Yeah. But for realsies. So then, moving on, we have...
Oh, man.
Well, we talked about the Eternals, and we already said we don't give a shit, fisticuffs, etc. So... After Doctor Strangelove, we got Thor: Love and Thunder. I just, fuck this movie. I don't know where to start, because on top of the fact that it was dumb when they made Jane Foster Thor in the comics, you're doing it in this universe where she really hasn't earned it at all. No. And you haven't spent nearly enough time with this character to give a shit about her.
Right, and I always have that thing, and God love Natalie Portman. She's been a journeyman. She's been a good actor for a long time. She's got an Oscar, but I have that thing with Natalie Portman where I'm sometimes she's just she knows she's in a movie that's fuck this. This is
no, exactly. Oh, is this one of those nerdy moron comic book Star Wars bullshit? Okay, now I can just try less. Perfect.
Right, and I think she kind of did that with the first two, and she's not shitty in the first two Thors, but
no, it wasn't. No, she was trying a little more than average in a Natalie Portman blockbuster.
Yeah, but to be fair to her, I guess it's her character didn't really have a whole lot to do. Now it's her character has a whole lot to do, and maybe that means we'll get a good performance. But then again, it's
no, it's gonna be dumb. Let's not kid ourselves. This movie's gonna suck.
It could very well. The only saving grace is that Taika Waititi's making it, and I'm I like the dude, and I think he's also writing it, so I feel okay about that. I don't know. Also, to what extent is not actual Thor, is Chris Hemsworth Thor? I guess now I have to say, what extent is he in this? Is he going to be in Guardians of the Galaxy 3 more than this? What's going to happen here? So, a lot of questions.
I just got beef with them all of a sudden. I had a feeling this was going to happen, so they're kind of taking inspiration from the comics, at the very beginning of the Marvel use. It seemed like they're taking inspiration from the comics from the early to late 2000s, and now we're getting to the early 2010s, and that's when the comics started to
skid.
How do I say this? That's when this comic started to suck ass. So,
and to be clear, our problems, and I know we're simpatico on why Jane Foster Thor is not ideal.
Just mantle passing is always shitty.
General, right. I'm not a fan of Jane Foster as Thor the same way I wasn't a fan of Dick Grayson as Batman when they quote unquote killed Batman after
all
Final
that shit
Crisis.
Didn't work. I didn't like Bucky as Captain America.
Right. The only time it worked.
The only times that I can think of it working was really the Golden Age to Silver Age, which is way before I was born, so I don't really have a right to bitch.
I was going to say that, and Into the Spider-Verse, which was a mix of both. It's not mantle passing. It's there are just a few different Spider-Man.
Yeah, exactly. I'm much more willing to play ball with that.
Right.
Because that's the whole thing with the Into the Spider-Verse is we have to stay in our universes. Otherwise, we do that pixel shit, It doesn't work. Mm-hmm. That's the thing is, if you're going to do mantle passing stories, it's about how it's not supposed to be.
Right.
Just like we've discussed this a few times, Nightfall, the comic, John Paul Valley takes over as Batman, and you realize
it doesn't work.
It doesn't work. Bruce Wayne has to be Batman.
Right.
I just I don't know. I could nerd out about this bullshit about how mantle passing is fucking stupid all day, but that's what it is. It's just lazy, and I just hope that is not the precedent for the future, but it kind of sounds like it is. Mm-hmm. No, Yelena Belova, even though she's the same thing as John Paul Valley. No, it doesn't work. Black Widow has to be Natasha. Mm-hmm. But fuck it, that's just how they're going to roll. So now, whatever. Marvel is just going to... I don't want to say it's just all going to be bad or whatever.
Oh, no. Because again, and I don't know if this is necessarily correlation equals causation, it'll be good, but the Blade movie with Mahershala Ali in Phase 5 sounds pretty fucking good. along
Fantastic
with,
Four, and then
sure,
eventual X-Men.
Sure, like I'll be this X-Men. I'll be there to see because by the time we get it, I'll be thirsty for some X-Men.
Yeah, Black Panther 2.
Yeah.
I think
I'll
that'll
be more.
be fine.
I'm honestly more excited for Phase 5 than I am 4. Like
Probably.
Black Panther 2 sounds okay.
There's only 2 of these that I really plan on seeing in theaters. That's Black Widow and Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
And then with these shows, honestly, like
Falcon, Winter Soldier.
Basically, Falcon, Winter Soldier, and What If, and Hawkeye. I don't know. It's kind of the same deal. It's just, yay, lazy writing. Mm-hmm. What if there's another Hawkeye? Yep, everyone's a Hawkeye. Okay, great.
Yeah. No, I get what you mean.
It just cheapens the characters.
So it's a mixed bag overall, Phase 4, and the announcements from Marvel overall, but they at least made announcements. We still have no idea what the hell
But
Wonder
again,
Woman
notice
84 looks like.
What's that? Oh, yeah.
We don't know what Wonder Woman 84 looks like, what Birds of Prey looks like. They
at
least showed up and laid it on the line, so to speak.
Yeah. As Triumph
would put it.
No, but the thing that is different is they did, like, this is only 2 years, which I kind of think is nice, because this way we can't figure out the entire plot just by
of the next something
whatever
saga. Galactus, is that what they're saying is going to be the next big bad?
I don't know, but the idea that the slates were so far into the future, I think the old announcements, what was it, at least 4 years?
Yeah, I remember that. Well, because they announced Endgame essentially, like they announced Avengers,
Infinity
Part
1 and 2.
Yeah, Infinity War Part 1 and 2. But yeah, it's they definitely were. Well, they kind of were and weren't like doing that. Like they had these few movies, but they also said like, here are our plans for the future. We don't have dates for these yet. So
yeah, that's true, but I feel like that means those are more subject to change.
I am kind of shocked that Black Panther isn't a part of Phase 4 just because of how much money it made and how much of an impact it made on cinema. I thought that'd be more of a priority. Yeah.
But, I mean, maybe it is. It's just the whatever directors are working on other shit before they get to it. Who knows?
Because, like, Guardians 3 makes sense because, obviously, we're getting a James Gunn Suicide Squad movie between them and now.
Yeah, Guardians 3 and Captain Marvel 2, I would say, are the two movies I'm the absolute least interested in.
Captain Marvel for me with a bullet. Guardians 3 I'm only interested in for the prospect of Thor being a part of them.
See, but that almost doesn't...
I don't know.
That almost is kind of a troubled sign. I'm only interested because Thor...
Right.
Like, oh, yeah, this movie called Guardians of the Galaxy, but fuck them. Yeah, that's like the next, like Lethal Weapon 5. I don't give a shit about Riggs and Murtaugh. It's all about Leo, man.
I'm here for Jet Li.
Yeah. No, I was talking about Leo Getz.
Oh, you're talking about Lethal Weapon 2 and 3.
Whatever the hell is.
I'm talking about 4 when Jet Li shows up.
Whatever. Talking Joe Pesci.
Leo Getz, yeah. He's got that blonde hair and
that's right. So also, while on the subject of Marvel, we got some more details about Black Widow at this here San Diego Comic-Con. So the cast, we already knew, but now the characters are pretty much revealed. David Harbour as Red Guardian, Florence Pugh as we kind of already knew, but now it's official, Yelena Belova, Rachel Weisz as Melina Vostokov. Mm-hmm. Iron Maiden, possibly, because that's that alter ego of that character in the MCU. And then we're pretty sure O.T. Fogbenlay is Taskmaster at this point, although it hasn't been explicitly stated.
Yeah.
He's listed as Mason on IMDb. I feel like the Melina Vostokov thing is going to be one of those Alexander Pierce things. Okay. Where it's like not the same character from the comics, really.
Yeah, or like, what the fuck was Guy Pearce's character in Iron Man 3?
Yeah.
Like another one of those where it's like they just like cherry picked some rando ass character and made them the villain when they sort of were, but not in the same way. I don't know. I know what you mean though.
Yeah, I just don't think that's going to be a big deal. I like that we got Red Guardian.
Yeah, and I like David Harbour as Red Guardian.
Yeah, I'm a fan of that.
Playing a different Big Red this time. Yeah. Hopefully it works out better than the last Big Red he played.
Indeed.
Yeah, but no, I mean, Not a whole lot to say here. We obviously have faces to some of these names.
I heard the footage was real good.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They showed footage. I heard
it was a fight between Yelena and Natasha.
Oh, man. I just like... I like that Florence Pugh is involved. She's
I do too,
really on the up and up.
And I understand that she'll be probably really good as Yelena Belova. I just hate the idea... Well, Jesus Christ, broken record. But yeah, blurp to derp, insert thing about why mantle passing is shitty, blop to dop. Yeah. Okay, so anyway, that's how I saved Christmas.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But no, I think the cast alone is something I'm going to sign up for. Love Rachel Weisz, love Florence Pugh, David Harbour, ScarJo, obviously. And what I'm hoping isn't going to be her last outing as the character Black Widow, but probably will be.
And choosing a director who has some experience with action-type movies.
You know, it's a bold strategy.
Yeah.
I don't know how it'll work, but we'll give it a shot.
I don't get it. I feel like they should have chosen someone who directed a movie about a janitor at a high school prom, and it's just him cleaning up. And he's also picking up the pieces of his life.
Yeah.
I feel like someone who directed a small film like that is much more suited for a film about people shooting and punching each other. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I just don't understand this whole...
It's going to suck is what... Let's just...
Yeah, let's just be real. Like, why would you hire someone who clearly is competent and has directed good movies that are well known?
Right.
Why would you do that? Why would you hire...
No, but I think this will probably...
Biting sarcasm aside, I think this will probably be the... I would be willing to bet this might be the best of the next 5.
I think you're right.
Which I know is not saying too much, but yeah, I think this will be pretty rad. I was hearing comparisons from people who people who saw the footage.
Yeah, they compared it to Winter Soldier.
Jason Bourne and Winter Soldier. So I figured that'd be right up your alley.
Jason Bourne, like, which one? Not the Jason Bourne...
Just the series.
Oh, okay, so like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, no. I know you're having a little...
Well, no, because like, I like the the fifth one with Matt Damon, but like, come on, man, the OG3, that's where it's at. And you know what? That's a good comparison. I like that because its spy shit is just on point. And Winter Soldier, the spy shit is on point. You know?
Right.
And the action is brilliant in both movies. So, yeah.
And that's the other thing is I like that you can make a superhero movie, but also make it kind of like it's just real ass people doing spy shit. Mm-hmm. They just happen to be wearing dumb, crazy, superhero outfits.
Right.
That's kind of like I've always liked that better than the shit where it's just so obviously outlandish and fake. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's exceptions, but generally speaking, I like the semi-grounded superhero stuff.
Right.
So that'll do it for the Black Widow news and such. Also at C2E, whatever, San Diego Comic-Con, we got a trailer for the Harley Quinn animated series. So right off the bat, now that's what I call a cartoon, all right?
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
That is a sizzle reel and a half.
Mm-hmm. It sure is.
It's basically just nonstop crazy shit happening, like heads popping off like robot dolls. I think my favorite shot in the whole thing is there's a little mouse dressed up in army clothes and he just flicks a cigarette up the nose of a shark.
Yep.
And the shark just says, ow.
I think we have an official cast list, too. So it's obviously Kaylee Cuoco as Harley Quinn, Lake Bell as Poison Ivy, Alan Tudyk as Joker and Clayface, Diedrich Bader as Batman, Jim Rash as Riddler, Ron Funches as King Shark, who I think is the character that was featured in that scene you just mentioned, Christopher Maloney as James Gordon, Tony Hale as Dr. Psycho, who is a character that I saw featured in the trailer, and I was like, is that Dr. Psycho? Who's like more traditionally a Wonder Woman villain, and like I don't think we've ever seen him really in a lot of media, and I'm like, good for them giving love to Dr. Psycho. So yeah, there's
a lot of characters in this.
Yeah.
Like
a lot
from
of characters
outside of the Batman universe.
It's kind of a
like Harley Quinn beats up Aquaman for no reason.
Yeah, Aquaman high fives a dolphin.
Yeah, right. The other thing I noticed, and I feel like this is why I think this looks so good, This looks like what the comics in the last few years have been trying to do, but it looks like it's actually succeed. Now, I could be way jumping the gun because it's just a trailer, but it looks like they're portraying her as just kind of a daffy, crazy person.
Right.
Not trying to do this bullshit, oh, I'm crazy, but really I'm a good guy, because I hate that shit.
No, it looks like she's doing some scheming. There's like, from context clues, it's like her and Dr. Psycho and like Clayface like at a bar. It kind of looks like they're plotting something. I don't know, but whatever they're up for, whatever they're trying to get into, I'm willing to hear them out.
Right, and I feel like with that scheming, it feels more Always Sunny.
Yes,
rather than oh, I'm a good guy, I'm a good person. I hate that shit with Harley Quinn and some of the more recent comics.
Right.
Just feels kind of tedious. Just make her a chaotic neutral at best.
Yeah. I think that's from what we have in the trailer here, for what we've seen. There's not a whole lot of dialogue, but from what I can glean,
like almost no dialogue.
No, but from what I can glean, it seems as though that's the route that they're taking.
Yeah, it's just a lot of baseball bats, punches in the face. The animation in general just looks really good too.
Yeah,
moves real smoothly. And Kite Man
has a little moment, and I was like, "Is that fucking Kite Man?"
Yeah, he's just like undoes the kite and makes the waiter slip. There's just a lot. There's a lot of just like random funny shit in this trailer.
Yeah, I love when people make like they take some of the elements of like lesser characters in the DC universe, like whether it's Kite Man or it's Dr. Psycho or Clayface or King Shark, and they're like, "This is kind of goofy."
Yeah.
Like, let's like have a joke about this guy. Like, this is a weird character. Let's just admit it. And we'll do it through this character that's also kind of a goofy character, Harley Quinn.
Right.
And hopefully not super sympathetic, as this trailer shows.
Yeah, I don't feel like they were trying to make her out like that at all. You know what the other thing that this trailer is just masterful at? The weird out-of-context shot where you have no idea what's going on. You're like, where the hell is this going?
Yeah. It's going to be weird, man, but hopefully later on this year when we get it. Actually, not even later on this year, like a month we get this, right? October?
Yeah.
Like over a month?
Yeah, a little over a month. It's coming out this October.
I can't wait.
I think I might pony up the money for this.
I think I might be there with you, because this looks really fun.
Yeah, this actually looks, honestly, more appealing than anything DC Universe has come out with so far.
And hey, I mean, if knowing you, if that's
save for Young Justice, which I still need to see, but
right.
Yeah.
But if that Stargirl series looks like anything of note, I know you'll probably bite on that too. Right.
I think that would be worth it, especially for both of them. But they do that weekly release bullshit because they know we're trying to use loopholes. Bastards. Damn them. Maybe I won't. Fuck them. Yeah, I changed my mind. We're not watching shit. No, but this looks like a whole hell of a lot of fun. To me, this is what animation should be.
I agree.
Like more manic, more kind of Tex Avery-ish.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no, I agree.
Animation has become too static and too boring and dialogue driven.
Especially superhero animation for a lot of television shows, superhero television shows.
Yeah.
With the exception of like Teen Titans Go.
That's what I mean. Teen Titans Go is another show
wacky show.
Whether you like it or not, it's pretty exemplary of what animation should what its vibe should be. A little more whimsical.
Yeah, a little more manic.
Yeah. So that is something it looks like it's doing real well. So I'll be sure to check that out once it comes out. So speaking of Harley Quinn, there's some interesting news. So Chad Stahelski, as we know, director of the John Wick series, he's been brought in for some additional photography to be shot for Birds of Prey. He will be the second unit director. His stunt team 8711, his stunt company 8711 was already working on the movie to begin with, so this makes sense. Jonathan Eusebio and something Valera. I can't remember the other guy's name, but they're both really well-known, good stunt choreographers. Now Chad Stahelski's back. So we got some reshoots, is what we're hearing, and reshoots are relatively standard.
Yeah, that's true.
Here's my hot take.
What's that?
I think this is good.
You know, it's interesting.
I think this is good news. I think reshoots with this guy at the helm I don't understand how this could be bad.
It's almost as if...
Although I might eat my words, who knows?
It's almost as if Warner Brothers wasn't happy with the action scenes that were shot by a director who's not typically known for making action movies, which I don't understand at all.
Oh my God, that's... wow, that's so weird. It's like someone who made some weird festival comedy that no one saw, or that no normies were allowed to see. Yeah, why would she not be good at shooting action? I don't get it.
I mean,
it's almost like they want someone who knows how to shoot action scenes to direct action scenes.
A little bit. I mean, all kidding aside, I also think it's a good move, and like,
yeah,
kidding to Kathy Ann, I'm sure she did okay.
Yeah,
but
obviously,
maybe they figured, maybe the stunt team at 8711 had a really good time, and they wanted to give it another, not even another shot, like add more. And like maybe, Chad Stahelski is, I think they're still writing John Wick 4, so he's got some time to kill. So maybe he figured he'd go in there and do some second unit work himself. He's done a lot of second unit directing in his time.
Here's the question. Why couldn't you choose him to direct the movie?
It's a goddamn good question, Alex.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
It's a good one.
I'm just throwing it out there.
Maybe because conflicts with John Wick 3.
Oh, right. Yeah, probably.
Because I know that they were both.
Or why was, I don't know.
John Wick. Chad Stahelski and David Leitch. They both were in talks for some some DC project, and I think that kind of fell through, or it's still. It's one of the many.
Deathstroke? Yeah, one of the 300 that are never going to happen.
One of the many projects of DC's that are just like floating somewhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe this is just them.
Like when I think of DC's like scripts warehouse, I just think of like the end scene in
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Who's writing this script? Top people.
Yeah.
What's that? Top writers.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da.
Oh man. Yeah. No, I agree. It's like maybe that is the case where this was just something like, hey, Chad, we're sorry about X project that didn't get off the ground. Come in and direct some fucking fight scenes for this movie that we think isn't going to be good without him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or I don't know. Maybe he should have been second unit director from the get-go.
Yeah.
But then again, I feel like his guys probably could have I don't know.
I do.
Because like those other two dudes, like their work outside of working with Chad Stahelski is still impressive.
Right. I do get what you mean, though, where it's like, this is reshoot. This is very odd that it's reshoot news that's, like, good.
Sounds good,
it's like, tinged with a hope and optimism. You're like, oh, Chad Stahelski, an action movie director, is being brought in to direct action scenes for Birds of Prey, eh?
It just sounds like, well, we've got this movie. Let's add more 1-on-40 people fight scenes. Sounds good to me.
Right. I can deal with that.
And at worst, if the rest of the movie sucks, at least the fights will be cool.
Which would make it a candidate
for 2 out of 2 bombs.
There you go.
I'd be very thrilled if that's what happens.
Really?
Honestly, I've been dying to see a movie like that. You know, what was the last one? I really don't know.
I don't know either.
It's like
China Salesman. No. Oh, close.
Close. China Salesman was close. God.
Oh man.
There's definitely some scenes in that for sure.
Oh my word.
Yeah, but point is, this is good news, which is rare with reshoots.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, if there's any rumor or if there's any reason that sounded negative, it didn't make it to the rumor mill. Usually you hear the studio wasn't happy with the ending or some bullshit. Like,
no.
There's none of that attached, which also kind of comes to another thing that's kind of weird about this. We haven't heard jack diddly shit about this movie at all.
No, it's kind of weird.
And it's out in 6 months, and according to the new game that is movie marketing, you're supposed to already be inundating us with all sorts of shit when you're 6 months away.
Yeah, I mean, I should be seeing
I should have
for this and Wonder Woman by now.
I should have at least had not all the plot given away. At least half of the plot should have been given away in a teaser plus a trailer one.
Yeah.
6 months out.
Yeah.
We haven't gotten any trailers. But that's also because this is a much smaller budget. If I'm not mistaken, this is supposedly smaller budget than Shazam.
Really? That is a very interesting point, because I think Shazam wasn't too small, but it was small.
It was 100 something.
Yeah, and this is like 75, 85. That's what they're saying. Huh. Interesting. Well, hopefully we'll know sooner rather than later what's going on in the...
Just like, tell me, goddammit. I'm really curious to know what the fuck is going on with this movie.
On the Birds of Prey front.
You're keeping me in suspense, man. You're driving me crazy.
I know, man.
Excuse me. Excuse us both. It's actually called Birds of Prey and the... What the fuck? Hold on. And the...
Let's see if you can get it.
Hold on. Birds of Prey and the Emancipation of one Harley Quinn.
You missed the word fantabulous. Sorry.
Oh my God. Wow, really?
Your answer had to be in the form of a question.
Oh, that's true.
So...
I forgot fantabulous.
How can you forget fantabulous?
That is kind of funny. Like, how did I? Because, like, that's the word that pisses me off the most in the title. Like, you're trying to sell a fucking movie, and you have fantabulous in the title.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we'll
like, if this is a
soon.
Sesame Street movie, I'd give you a pass. You know? Like, whatever.
Yeah. All right. Well, moving on to the next piece of news that we have. We have a trailer for a movie that we talked about not so long ago.
Oh, man.
Fred Durst's The Fanatic, starring
That's right.
John Travolta.
Fred Durst of Limp Bizkit fame.
Yeah. This looks like
a
on the right
cinematic
track.
masterpiece.
That's what it looks like. We're on the right track for possibly getting a so bad it's good 2 out of 2.
Oh, it looks like a real good candidate.
It looks like John Travolta's really pulling out all the stops to be as ridiculous and as just absurd as possible. The story looks really just wacky and it just looks weird.
Just imagine, I spent a lot of time with losers.
Oh my God.
Like, I really did a deep dive, did a lot of research.
Yeah, I mean, he's been doing that for his past, 10 movies, really, John Travolta. He was in, Gotti and, all these, really bad, the fucking one movie with De Niro. What the fuck was it called? I don't know. The Hunt or some shit or, some bullshit.
To be fair, he really does look like he has lost himself in this role.
Yeah?
I mean, a lot of that's the costume.
Sure.
But I mean, I'm not thinking Travolta at all. I'm thinking Moose or whatever. Is that his character's name?
Moose, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, I agree with you.
Didn't you the part where he's talking to his friend? Didn't that shit kind of remind you of the King of Comedy?
Yeah, a little bit.
All right, for those of you playing at home, King of Comedy is a fantastic film you should see.
One of the most underrated Marty Scorsese movies, if not the most.
Yeah, I think it's a fantastic film. Quick review, 5 out of 5. But yeah, I kind of got that vibe from it. And Devon Sawa. Haven't seen him in a while.
It's been a while. You know how long it's been for me?
Slackers?
I was going to say, it's been since Casper for me.
Damn, that's a really long time.
It's been a long time, Devin.
So, the plot, for those of you playing at home, it's just about John Travolta plays Moose, who's this creepy fan who's obsessed with Devon Sawa, who plays some actor.
Yeah, pretty much.
Really digging deep there.
Yeah.
With that role, playing some actor. So basically it's just a stalker movie, and there's a lot of this person's tied up and he's going to shoot this person, he's going to stab this person. It looks like a good time. Looks like a good, scary, but not scary at all because it looks hilarious.
I guess Fred Durst, I don't know if we mentioned this the last time, but I think Fred Durst said because he co-wrote this, he drew on some inspiration from fans that he's dealt with in the past to write this script.
Well, they say to write what you know, Robert.
They do, and you know what? God damn it, Fred, you done right. You done us right, and I
you
hope
gave us break stuff, and now you're giving us this movie. God bless you, sir.
I hope this is exactly what it seems to be.
Yeah, that's exactly what I would say about this trailer. All right. So moving on to a little bit of sad news. Russi Taylor, who is the voice of Martin Prince and Minnie Mouse from Simpsons and Disney shorts, respectively, has died at the age of 75. Mm-hmm. And to this, I say in tribute to her character of Martin Prince, it's photosynthesis! Damn your feeble mind!
She was also the voice of Huey, Dewey, and Louie on DuckTales.
What?
Yeah.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, she's really got a if you go through her filmography and just look at some of the stuff that I didn't even realize she was in. Yeah, she's got some real heavy-hitting stuff here. So, rest in peace, Russi.
And, yeah, Martin Prince, though...
It's a legendary character.
He's really, really underrated, and I know you can say that about a lot of Simpsons characters. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of classic Martin moments. Hark to the tale of Nelson!
You got greedy, Martin.
Yeah. Yeah, you go, yeah, soy! You got greedy, Martin. And don't forget, thanks to our friend, sodium chloride! Nelson just wails on him.
Yeah, man, it's a great... She's got a great bevy of characters under her belt.
Yeah, so rest in peace to Russi Taylor. Thank you for your tremendous voice acting talents. All right, so then moving right along. Ooh, god damn it. So, well, there's no easy way to say this, Robert. They're making a Home Alone reboot. Please let it die. Please let it die. Prequel, sequel, and twinkle gives a fuck. All I know is that it's gonna suck. That's a really convenient sound clip. Because I can use it about on every episode of this show.
Nowadays, for sure.
Yeah. So, Home Alone reboot. This is one that just specifically brings my piss to a boil.
Yeah?
Of all the things, just fucking stop.
I agree with you there, but I'm not as pissed about this as you might think. And
explain yourself.
I'm going to use a little. It's not coming from a place of optimism. It's coming from a place of defeat. So imagine you lose your favorite puppy, like your dog. Your dog passes away, and you have to bury him. Mm-hmm. And then you find out a couple weeks later that coyotes or something have dug up the remains of your dog and taken it away.
Where is this going?
Keep going. No, here we go. So you find out that coyotes have dug up the remains of your dog, and they're just gone. So 7 years later, someone comes to you from the same pet cemetery and is like, hey, coyotes have dug up your dog's grave again. And right now I'm just kind of like, well, there wasn't really anything left there to fucking begin with. So you know what? Fuck it. They can take whatever's left. The Home Alone franchise has been fucking dead forever. And they killed this franchise with Home Alone 4.
That didn't happen.
Home Alone: The Holiday Heist
also didn't happen.
It did happen. No, it did not. I've seen it.
No, it did not. There are.
I seen it. I seen both of them. Oh my god.
There's 2 Home Alone movies, 1 and 2.
No, I'm just.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That's where I'm coming from. It's like they already fucking ruined this franchise.
Yeah.
So for me, it can't get much worse.
But I feel like the modern spin is going to make this movie suck ass.
Oh yeah. I think it will.
I'm going to hit you with paint cans using drones.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I'm not happy about it, but at this point, I'm like, fuck it, whatever. You already ruined it. It's already fucking done. Just take it.
Kevin's going to be live streaming it.
Guys,
I was playing Fortnite and then these bad guys broke in, bro. I wish I had my vape pen.
I hope that they're saying it's a soft reboot. I don't want to see the name. I don't want to see the surname McAllister. Just do whatever. Do something different. I'm still not going to fucking watch it.
Fuck this. This is really absurd. You know you're not going to do this as good as the first one.
Yeah.
There's zero chance at it.
No, that won't happen.
It's almost like trying to make a Rush Hour TV show. Oh, wait.
Oof, yeah, that was bad.
No, but I mean, there's certain movies where the characters and the exact performances just can't be replicated. Mm-hmm. Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker in Rush Hour, that was an example. Joe Pesci, Daniel Stern, and, Macaulay Culkin as those 3 characters. I forget their real fucking names because it's Harry, Marv, and Kevin.
Yeah.
Those are not going to be replicated.
Won't happen. I agree with you. I just am not. I'm
or
not.
Just make a fucking, kid defends his house movie. Just call it something else.
Sure. Yeah, no,
just
I
stop
agree.
this non-stop horse shit of just playing to nostalgia. I know we've said this end on end, but it's just that fucking repetitive and crazy.
I agree. I'm just neither surprised nor dismayed. I've already made my peace with this franchise's death.
This is the one. No, there's like 5 movies where it's not okay. God damn it. This is one of them.
Yeah, it's for me. It's already happened. I'm like they did like
it's already dead and buried.
It's already been dead, buried, and grave robbed.
Yeah,
that's what I mean by like someone like grave robbing it again. It's like there's nothing there. Like whatever, man. Like go ahead, take whatever you want. The fucking body's already gone because it's just I made my peace.
So what Robert is saying is dead puppies. That's
puppy.
So what Robert is saying is that this new Home Alone will be the equivalent of dead puppies.
Yes. Oh, man.
The puppy's representing industry.
The puppy is industry. Oh, man.
In this case, the puppy is the film industry.
The film industry,
yeah.
It is. Oh,
it's
man.
dead, buried, dug up, and dug up again.
I know.
Oh, you know what? You're actually right.
This is gonna suck. I mean, we agree there. Like there's no way this can be good.
No.
Unless
it
is a sequel to Home Alone 2, and it has the same actors: Macaulay Culkin, Joe Pesci.
Well, you see Macaulay Culkin's post online. Oh, it's great. He said, for those of you playing at home, you should check this out. Just search Macaulay Culkin reacts to Home Alone reboot. He just said, Home Alone if it were to take place now. And it's just him sitting with his gut hanging out like in pajamas, like with a laptop on his lap, like eating ramen. It's pretty funny stuff.
But yeah, this is
basically good. Everything you like will get rebooted. Godfather will get rebooted. I'm just going to say it and speak it all into existence. Godfather, Dumb and Dumber again. Enter the Dragon. Anything you like, they're just going to make it, and they're going to make it shitty.
And all of your dead pets are going to be stolen.
Yep. A lot of dead puppies is what we're trying to say.
Oh, man. How the hell am I going to put images for this part of the fucking video?
Well, just Google dead... No,
oh, God,
don't do that.
Yeah, it's just gonna be the picture of the album cover for the Dead Puppies single song. You ever heard that song?
No. What is that?
It's a song. Look it up.
Well, who's it by?
It's by a guy named Ogden Edsel.
That sounds like a guy who might write that.
Yes, Dead Puppies
Ogden Edsel.
Aren't much fun is the song.
I was thinking Too Many Puppies by...
Too Many Puppies?
No, by Primus.
Oh, yeah.
Too many puppies. For those of you playing at home, tell us your favorite Primus song for absolutely no reason.
Sure.
Just go ahead. Mine's probably that or John the Fisherman.
Okay.
I also just like anytime Les Claypool does a live bass solo. Fantastic bass player.
I'm a big fan of his work on the theme for Robot Chicken.
Yes. I'm a big fan of his work on the theme for South Park.
Oh, yeah, of course. Classic.
He's a cool guy. Mm-hmm. All right, anyway, so that's enough about Les Claypool. Moving on to our next story. We got a trailer for that crazy movie Lighthouse, which premiered at Cannes. Yes, no?
Sure did.
It was at Cannes at the very least. I don't know if it premiered there. It doesn't matter. The movie Lighthouse, which is about a couple of drunk sailors in the 18-somethings.
Yeah, sure.
Whatever. It was like a while ago, and there are these guys who are trapped in a lighthouse, and they're just trying to hunker down and get back home.
And they're losing their minds.
Yeah, it's just about them losing their mind. It kind of feels like this is just that episode of The Simpsons where Homer and Mr. Burns are snowed into that cabin and go crazy. That's basically this movie.
You know what I really liked about this trailer, and I don't even know if this is from the movie itself, but I love the music.
Yeah.
It sounded really old-fashioned and just, like, nasty, like...
kind of sea shanty music.
I loved it. It just made me laugh.
What are your overall impressions of this trailer?
There's not a whole lot to glean from it, because there's a lot of questions. You're like, first of all, what the fuck? Like, second of all, what is going on? Like, what is this? And for me, my interest is there. The cast is solid. The director I have a great, not rapport with, but like I've seen his other flick. It's really, really solid.
I loved his other movie.
Yeah, so
The Witch was real good.
At the very least, hell yeah, I'm gonna fucking see it.
Excusez-moi, The Vivitch.
The Vivitch, yes. Right. I'm down for this. It looks really weird. I don't know. I've heard a lot of things about this. I've heard things that it's like, it is a horror movie, yes, but it's a horror movie that's like very aware of itself, and some people even called it like comedic.
Okay. I've got a log line here.
Okay.
Yeah, I did get a slight comedic vibe from it.
There's a lot of weird, like, uncomfortable laughter, like, what? What the fuck is that?
I would say The Witch even had a little bit of that.
Sure.
I mean, overall, obviously dramatic. Mm-hmm. But there's definitely parts where you kind of uncomfortably laugh, like, what the fuck was that about? Mm-hmm. So the story of two lighthouse keepers on a remote and mysterious New England island in the 1890s. Okay, so that's not really a log line.
Let's do it, though.
Yeah. There's a couple shots where I thought, okay, is this a dream sequence or is this them hallucinating? There's a shot where the tentacles are pulling what's-his-face. So
some octopus
some
shit.
Big octopus or squid or some shit. Mm-hmm. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, it looks really wacky and weird. Like, knowing...
Yeah, everything about this stylistically looks good.
And, like, knowing... Robert Eggers' last movie, like, he's no stranger to like putting just weird ass imagery, like crows pecking out a woman's breast and like a little kid throwing up an apple and like floating naked witch women, and God, it's just hopefully there's more of that because that was a tricky movie.
Looks like it's going to be replacing the pecking of that and throwing up with tentacles of some kind.
Let's do it.
Sea monsters looks like it's a... Sea monsters and drinking seem to be heavy themes of this film. The one thing that I think is really present in this that I would say has in common with the Vivitch is the attention to detail with set design and costumes and just the overall look.
Period.
Right.
For sure.
Of course, that really came through when we said the 18-something.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely looks like this is not present day.
We figured that much. Mm-hmm. We did pretty well, hence the lighthouse keepers.
Yeah.
You know, with no cell phones.
Sure. No, but I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, this looks really, really rad. Mm-hmm. I can't wait to see it.
Me as well.
All right.
Or neither, I guess.
Yeah, it looks good. Moving on, we got another trailer. Also was at Cannes.
It did.
That we also kind of made fun of in that Cannes video.
It did very, very, very well at Cannes.
Yeah, this won the
Golden Palm.
Oh, jeez. Palme d'Or?
The Palme d'Or, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, this movie is a Korean film by...
Bong Joon-ho.
That guy, yes. Who did Snowpiercer and a couple other movies.
Did Snowpiercer and Okja, which are the American movies. He's done a bunch of Korean movies I haven't seen. Memories of Murder and The Host and Mother are three of them. Not the Darren Aronofsky Mother, obviously. Right. Yeah, this trailer looks really good too. And I was gonna see this movie even if this trailer looked shitty because of the buzz about it and the fact that I just got to see this guy's more of his stuff.
This, honestly, reminds me of Ex Machina, that every single shot...
Yeah, the colors, the framing...
Well, this just looks like the masterclass on cinematography.
Yeah, you're like, that's a shot, like, that's a fucking movie, like, the depth of field, and I just love, like... What I also love is the... Obviously, this is a movie that's about, like... it's a commentary on class, and it's about a bunch of, like, you know, these guys who are kind of living in a slum... or like in poor conditions that have to kind of infiltrate their way into an upper class family. And like visually speaking, those two environments could not be more starkly different looking.
Right.
Like the slums are just like gray palette and like
I love that thing at the beginning too.
Yeah, like low contrast and like
when they're fumigating. Yeah, keep the windows open.
We're getting a free extermination.
Yeah. That's hilarious. That was the other thing is this movie looks funny.
Yeah, it's being described as a black comedy thriller, which sounds right up the alley of this guy from what I've heard. I haven't seen any of his stuff. I got to see more of his stuff. and this will be on my list of seeing some of his stuff. So hopefully, as you said earlier, I'm going to steal your joke. When this movie comes out for 2 days in Dubuque, Iowa, I will not get the chance to watch it this year.
Yeah, you know what? When it doesn't come out, I'll be very pissed, but we'll see it eventually on demand or something. No, but for real, I really hope this gets a good release.
Yeah.
Like a good wide release.
As do I, sir.
Because this is being distributed by Neon, yeah?
Yeah, Neon picked it up, which is...
They've been getting...
a really big pull for them because this is probably one of the hotter indie releases of the year because obviously it won the Palm and all that. So yeah, big pull for them.
I feel like they've been sort of getting in the game of, making normies watch movies.
There's been a few, man. Like the biggest one for them...
Loose coming out? That's one of theirs.
I think that already was out, but it did well. And like, obviously my favorite Neon thing that's come out has been Ingrid Goes West, which is
I
really
still
fun
need to
movie.
see. I've been wanting to watch that for a long time.
So weird, but it's right up their alley of weirdness. They're starting to become like a secondary, tertiary A24 type distributor. So this is another one for them, and I'm looking forward to it.
Right. So if you haven't seen the trailer, if you all would like to, you should check out Parasite by
Bong Joon-ho.
Bong Joon-ho. Why the hell can't I remember that name? Anyway, yeah, so Parasite looks good.
It's a 3-name name, Alex.
Even if it, Korean, American, if you got 3 names, I can't do it. I can never do it. All right, so moving on to our final story. Not a whole lot to say about this. Mortal Kombat has filled out its cast a little bit more. So adding to the already casted Joe Taslim as Sub-Zero, he's now joined by Mehcad Brooks as Jax, Tadanobu Asano as Raiden, Cece, I don't know.
I think it might be Cece.
Cece Stringer as Melina, and Ludi Lin as Liu Kang. So, to give you a little context, Mehcad Brooks, who's playing Jax, he's Jimmy Olsen on Supergirl.
I knew he looked familiar.
Yeah. That's so funny because you think, he can't play Jax. He's Jimmy Olsen. Jimmy Olsen's a nerd. Then you're like, oh, wait. No, he's just horribly miscast as Jimmy Olsen.
Yeah. They're trying to play a funny on Superman fans in that show.
Yeah.
And Ludi Lin obviously was in the running for Shang-Chi, but I don't know if it fell through or if you want to say it fell through, but he's now Liu Kang, which is a similar-ish role, I would say. Leading man, martial arts character.
Yeah, I think these are all pretty solid choices. And you got dude from Thor.
Yeah.
One of the Warriors 3 as Raiden.
One of the tragically killed Thoriers Warriors 3.
Thoriers we.
There you go. They are the Thoriers.
Thoriers are what, you ever heard of this band Valiant Thor?
No.
That's what they call their fans.
Okay.
Thoriers.
Nice.
Yeah.
And as for Cece Stringer, you check her IMDb, she doesn't have a whole lot of credits at all, so jury's out. I'm not saying
Are
she'll
you
be
telling
bad.
me they're putting a new face in a lead role?
Yes.
Okay. You know what? So far, she's okay in my book. Let's check in 5 years when she's in everything.
There you
Then
go.
we decide we hate her.
Yeah.
Who knows? They might do that with all these people.
Oh, I hope
What
not.
if all of a sudden we're like, God, I'm sick of seeing Tadanobu Asano everywhere. It's
God.
everywhere.
It's Mehcad Brooks, so just get him out of here.
Yeah. No, I think this is a cool cast.
Yeah.
I kind of like that it's, got a good mix of people. Just like, got a TV guy, you got a guy who's kind of been on the periphery of some big things, and he was in Power Rangers and it didn't work out, but it definitely wasn't his fault.
Sure. And you got some martial arts talent for sure.
Right, especially out of Lodi Lin.
Still not and Joe Taslim obviously. And
right.
You got a couple other names in here I'm waiting to hear for, like Scorpion and Johnny Cage and Katana, Sonya. And then I also want to see what we're getting villain wise for this. We're getting some Shao Kahn, some Shang Tsung.
We need some Sindel.
Some Sindel, Quan Chi.
Preferably a horrible actress. If we're living up to the standard of the greatest film of all time.
You have to have the line in there, too.
Yeah. Mother, you're alive?
Too bad you will die.
Yeah, that's classic writing. What I'm trying to say is that Mortal Kombat Annihilation is a tough act to follow, and we'll see if this new Mortal Kombat lives up to its predecessor. So that'll do it for this story and for the news.
Now we move on to the review portion of the podcast, where we will start out with a review of Fast and Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw. This is the 9th Fast and Furious movie. We were both really looking forward to it. The trailers look good. So starting off, look, man, we're 9 movies deep in this franchise, and somehow they've managed to keep my lowly, apparently crocodile-brained ass in the seat to watch. And while I thought overall this was a bit of a step down, it is an enjoyable action movie overall, but a very, very flawed one, and a bit overstuffed, and a bit uninspired, but still just enough enjoyable. I don't know how you felt.
Well, I would say my initial reaction was that this kind of should have been the action movie of the summer and wasn't. Mm-hmm. So I guess I'd agree with you to a certain extent that it's sort of enjoyable, but it's pretty flawed. Yeah. And it's noticeably flawed more so than the other Fast and the Furious movies.
I think the good thing is, though, like, it's flawed in ways I expected it to be. Like, the story and characters are what really, really, for me at least, hamper it. Whereas, like, I thought the action was, typically, like, that's just how it's going to be with these movies. The action is good.
I'd almost disagree. I thought the action was spotty.
Really?
Like, super spotty.
Okay, interesting.
I'll get into that a little bit more, but I guess to put it, like, if I were to sum it up, this kind of had all the ingredients to be a much better movie than what we got.
Sure.
You had David Leitch directing. You had The Rock and Jason Statham starring and reprising their roles in this universe. And then, of course, you have Idris Elba as the villain. What more could you really ask for?
You got an upcoming, potentially breakout star in the form of Vanessa Kirby as a side supporting character.
Just, like, kind of on and off between, like, being used and not. Like, she was kind of, it's like, wow, where have we seen this? Vanessa Kirby underutilized in a major franchise?
Mm-hmm. They gave us a lot more of her in this, obviously, than they did in Fallout, but I agree.
Even still underutilized. So we'll start with the plot now. Mm-hmm. The plot revolves around a super secret scientific organization that wants to spread a virus so that only those who are worthy of life can be left on Earth. Basically, they're trying to make the perfect humans. So, what happens is, fuck it, this is like minor spoilers. It's kind of in the trailer. So, Vanessa Kirby steals the virus, and now Brixton, played by
Idris Elba,
who is enhanced like all hell, has all this. He's basically a cyborg. Mm-hmm. He's got all these enhancements, and he's working for this organization. He wants to get the virus back, so he's pissed and wants to find Hattie Shaw, played by Vanessa Kirby. So she enlists sort of unwillingly in the help of the form of her brother Deckard Shaw and his best bud,
I guess.
Sort of not really, in the forms of Luke Hobbs,
played by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
So, right off the bat, with that whole sci-fi element, I thought it was okay, but it kind of messed with the rules of the world. I couldn't help but think Fast and the Furious, even though it's exaggerated real life. Mm-hmm. There's no lasers, there's no magic. So my problem was, if he's that strong, then shouldn't he like kill someone if he hits so and so and this and like it wasn't like a giant problem, but it only became a problem towards the end, and we'll get into that in spoilers, but it was kind of messy with the whole rules of the world, I guess. I don't know. That's just kind of a nitpick.
Well, no, I agree with you. It kind of bridges from being like Fast and Furious is always a street level movie, and ever since 5, we've kind of been going into the stratosphere in ways, but they've still somehow managed to feel street level. This kind of starts to feel like a James Bond movie.
Right, and I don't know.
Or like a Mission Impossible, sorta, kinda.
Right. And
it didn't do it too much for my taste, but it did start to veer towards that.
And I guess like that's kind of my thing is if you're going to do that, I don't really care because at the end of the day, this kind of felt like we're just putting Fast and the Furious in front of this.
Yeah, it definitely felt more of a spin-off.
But even still, I kind of felt like there needed to be some sort of consistency within within these new sets of rules.
There was a little bit. The only least common denominator is like every set piece does, for the most part, revolve around vehicles.
Yeah, but that's one thing I gotta say that I thought kind of sucked in this movie.
What's that?
Most of the vehicle scenes were not, like, for the exception of one in the third act, most of the vehicular scenes were not that good. They're
really?
I thought they were really CGI'd and...
Well, I'll agree with you there. The CGI, especially with the certain scene in London, is spotty.
It does not look all that good. Mm-hmm. And Fast and the Furious, I guess, again, to bring it back to street level, that's one thing that they kind of pride themselves on, is they try to use as much practical effects as they can with driving. Mm-hmm. Or at least doing that, like, real driving over, matted over, whatever the hell.
Yeah.
At least, you know what I'm talking about? Where,
sure.
Yeah. They try to make it look as real as possible. Mm-hmm. And pretty much all the vehicle scenes looked super fake in this. And the hand-to-hand stuff was good, except there's one hand-to-hand fight scene that was pretty shitty. It had a lot of bad guys waiting for their cue.
Was it in the beginning of the movie?
No, but it's sort of in the middle. But
okay.
It was actually highlighted in one of the trailers, but... It's one of those things where the bad guys look like they're waiting for their cue. Mm-hmm. And I know there's a way to make it convincing where they all go one-on-one and you don't think about it. But this time it just looked very, all right, now here I go. Oh, now I'm going to get punched. It just looked very, very one and two and step. It just did not flow.
Yeah, I didn't think for me honestly the standout shit was the vehicle stuff. Like, and again, this isn't like fucking cars falling out of a parking garage good, but it's like there's a scene involving a truck and like they're driving away from like a smokestack that's falling down.
Yeah.
And that was cool. And like there's a scene that's like a chase scene with the motorcycle and there's a stunt involving a double-decker bus that's really cool. And then there's a scene at the end involving a helicopter that's the best scene in the whole movie because it's the most unique set piece.
That was kind of the thing is, we'll get to that in spoilers. I thought that was really the only, wow, now that's a Fast and Furious type dumb but fun kind of moment. The rest just kind of felt kind of standard fare, I guess.
Sure.
Also, the ticking clock element with Hattie Shaw was kind of a mixed bag because on the one hand it raised stakes, but in other scenes it kind of felt like, oh, now she's just dead weight.
Yeah.
It's like, what the hell's the point of this? Mm-hmm. I don't know. I just thought that was a little weird. I guess the one thing I would say also is this movie felt like it was nodding and winking at the camera a little too much. Because the fun part about Fast and Furious movies in general is they know that they're completely stupid, but they let you figure that out as an audience member. This kind of felt like it was babying you. Like, get it? We're being goofy and silly. Mm-hmm. Some of the dialogue was... I mean, some of it was funny, but some of it was just really not, like, really, like, swing and a miss.
There's just so much of, like... There's so many scenes of Dwayne Johnson and Jason Statham saying the same thing.
Oh, my God.
And over again, and it's just like...
You're short and bald. You're big and dumb.
You're an asshole. It's like, just stop. Like, let's go. Like, I've seen better versions of this dialogue before. Like, let's fucking go, guys.
This is 48 hours banter. This is not.
Rush hour banter. This is not.
Exactly. And it kind of felt like they were just trying a little too hard to, copy that formula, I guess you could say.
They even like straight up spouted lines that were like the sorest versions of lines from other movies. And I'm like, come on, man, this is the same bullshit.
Right. There's some cameo scenes that felt extremely unnecessary.
And really long and drawn out.
Oh my fucking God. Did this movie have like 5 scenes that could have cut out like 25 minutes of this movie?
You know what made me laugh about the cameo scenes is like the actor shows up and you're like, oh, sweet. And then you're immediately like frowning because the scene is just not very funny and like too long. And you're like, oh man.
It's you got
this isn't as good.
You have a big old balloon and someone just pops it.
Yeah, you're like, damn it.
Yeah. All right, so fuck it. Time for spoilers. So where this movie shines to me, the Samoa stuff.
That's awesome.
I was like, now I'm having a good ass time.
Mm-hmm.
It feels a little too. It's a slight case of too little, too late. But overall, so first of all, I love the idea that the guns have to be part of that electronic thing.
Yeah, so they shut them off.
Yeah, so they shut them off.
They have themselves a war.
Yeah, they have themselves a good old fashioned charge at each other pugilist battle.
I love the ring of fire too, to trap them in.
Yeah, with the explosive shit.
Yeah,
and that's what I was talking about. Hattie Shaw. She's like, "Oh, I can fight now." No, but the virus is making me weak.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
That felt pretty convenient to just get her in a helicopter that they need to chase after. You know what I mean?
It just felt real dumb. It's just, if you're gonna have an action character, don't make them dead weight. Have them be an action character. Have some like nerdy scientist dude, like the other dude who was in this. Have him be the carrier of, I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
Either that or, I don't know. I think there was a way to maybe do that better.
Yeah, they maybe could have just like had the virus be extracted from her already, and then they just like take the box, and the box is in the helicopter.
Yeah. Well, I guess the other reason the ticking clock thing didn't need to be is because she's not the main character.
No, but she's like, weirdly enough, kind of the character that starts all of this. She's like the character that initiates it.
That's what it. Yeah, that is weird, isn't it?
Yeah, but like she doesn't have it nearly as enough time to shine as obviously the title characters for sure. But come on, man, I want me some Vanessa Kirby. Please be Catwoman, by the way.
Yeah, I hear you. But okay, so the fight that I was talking about that felt super unnatural and just very like one and step and punch, and two is the hallway fight with Jason Statham.
Oh yeah, it felt like almost choreographed to music in a weird way.
Which is so weird because this is David Leitch's shit, and that's kind of my problem with this movie in general. Is that's David Leitch's bread and butter, and for a scene like that to be kind of that meh, it's very unusual. And this whole movie kind of felt like it didn't have his stamp on it at all.
I was kind of desensitized to that whole scene just because I'd seen it in the trailers. So my analysis of it just went away. I'm just like, this is the scene from the trailer.
Yeah, exactly,
blah, blah, blah.
which they showed all of it. But then on top of that, that whole scene like breaking out of the compound, didn't that feel really rushed? And that part was kind of cool.
A little bit.
It's like, this is like old James Bond. Like there's a bunch of hazmat suit guys and there's some flamethrowers. I thought that was kind of cool, but some of the execution of it didn't make sense. I thought, wouldn't they get shot right there?
And I also
I don't know.
I feel like that could have easily been solved with, hey, let's cut some of these cameos and just add a little bit more of pacing to this scene where they have to escape. So I definitely, and that's one of my biggest issues with it. It's just, it's very overstuffed.
It is very,
and there's so much in it.
What is it? We've been saying this all year, or for over a year. This whole theory, we need to make every movie 2 hours and 15 minutes. Wrong.
This did not need to be that.
Make 2 hour movies.
This movie even ends, and it's just like, oh wow, okay, like it's just like they kill, or Idris Elba's killed, and they like walk like 10 feet away, and then it's like credits roll, and we have like literally an epilogue being delivered over the credits. I'm like, god damn, you guys aren't wasting any time.
And then the Kevin Hart was the cameo that we were talking about, and
made me sad. And Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, it's like, this isn't funny. It's trying too hard. I can reference a TV show. We're going to talk about Game of Thrones. I get it. You reference other pop culture things. Oh my god.
Yeah, it was suboptimal.
Yeah. Also, family. I'm kidding. No, I'm just being a dick. It's just, they do tend to beat you over the head with that theme.
Family.
Yeah. They do tend to beat you over the head with that in this franchise, but I thought it was done in a fun way. I somehow, again, my crocodile-brained ass never gets tired of that family shit. See, that's the part where I said, okay, this is the Fast and Furious dumb shit I signed up for.
No cookout scene, though.
That's true. No.
Gotta dock some serious points. No cookout scene.
That's true. What was the other thing? Okay, that last fight scene. I felt like the way they beat him, that felt like it was written by a 6-year-old.
We just gotta hit him at the same time.
No.
It's like,
no, one of them has to take the hit, and then the other one hits him after he takes the hit.
even though they'd be dead if they're punched like once by a dude that strong. But
this guy has like I'm assuming he is like the Fast and Furious equivalent of an adamantium skeleton.
They should have at least done the water's affecting his circuitry.
Right.
Something. And then there's another thing that really bugged me about this movie, I guess, the whole secret organization.
I thought that was going to be Ryan Reynolds.
That would be amazing, but no, but like I can't stand this. Everything's a goddamn TV show.
Sequel bait, yeah.
Just let the one thing be its one thing, and then add shit later. Like Lethal Weapon 1, I don't even know who the fuck the bad guy is. The diplomat community, he's not like, I want revenge for the guy who shot at the Christmas tree parking lot in the first one.
And you know what the thing is about the Fast and Furious movies is they don't do that in the movie. They'll like do some shit in the next movie and retcon it talking about the movie you'd already seen. Like they very rarely set shit up for sequels. They're always like, oh, in the last movie you didn't know this, but this character did this and didn't die and also lost their memory, and like they do that shit.
Yeah.
So this felt way more overtly just like the next movie's coming out in 2 years and like okay, got it. I didn't hate it. Yeah. I didn't hate it. I will say this, it's probably the worst Fast and Furious movie I've seen since
2 and 3.
Yeah, but then it's like I thought it was fine. Like it's watchable and enjoyable, and like there are a couple of really good scenes.
I had mile high expectations though.
See, I think that might be where we differ. I was like, this wasn't my movie of the summer. There's another movie coming up in this podcast that we'll talk about. But this, I was like, yeah, I hope this is really good. Yeah. And it wasn't. It was good. For me.
Overall, I think The Rock and Jason Statham were good in their roles when they weren't trying too hard. Mm-hmm. And Vanessa Kirby was underutilized, but also good in her role. And then I really liked Idris Elba's Brixton.
That guy just keeps getting underutilized and shit. Where I'm like, dude, you're a leading ass man, and you're just the villain in a lot of stuff. And you're, oh man.
So, do you want to move on to scores?
Yeah.
Give us your final thoughts.
Again, as I said, not the best Fast and Furious movie. Very suboptimal in terms of dialogue, character, and plot. But the action pleased me. I found it to be just good junk food, turn your brain off type stuff. It is a little too bloated, but yeah, it's pretty decent. I gave it a 7. That's my go-to.
Of course. All right, so I thought my overall kind of 2 cents. I thought it was overall pretty good. Thought most of the hand-to-hand scenes were pretty rad. The Samoa scenes were probably my favorites. And even though the reasoning behind the last fight scene was dumb, the fight scene itself was good.
Sure.
And the helicopters
awesome.
Chaining the cars together. I'm like, this is the shit I signed up for. But overall, felt like any semi-generic studio blockbuster action movie. So I give this a 3 out of 5.
Yeah, it's like you're eating Twizzlers, and you're like, this is okay, but they're just not red vines.
Yeah. So 7 plus, 7.
That's a 7 plus a 6?
3.
Or 6.
How dare you?
I converted it to my shitty
use
scale.
Your witchcraft rating scale.
7 plus 3 is a 10 out of 15. So that's not the best, but it's okay.
It's okay. So that'll do it for our review of why the hell was Asa Gonzalez only in one scene? And now it's time for our final review of the podcast. We're, of course, talking about the latest hit film, the 9th film by the legendary filmmaker Quentin Tarantino. We're talking about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So, initial reaction to this is, now that's what I call a goddamn movie.
Yeah. Especially this year, amidst a year of unnecessary remakes, bloated sequels, pathetic attempts at establishing IP and franchises. In comes old QT with a movie so wacky and audacious, so out there that I honestly couldn't help but smile really wide when the credits finally rolled.
Well, that's the other thing is he basically reminded us, what a director with a vision is capable of, instead of a studio telling a director how to do things.
Right.
And I would say 9 times out of 10, that type of movie is better. And I don't think that's a very hot take. It's like, oh, wow, really reaching there, Alex. But, this movie reminded us of that. that obvious fact that for whatever reason, it seems like the industry is kind of sort of been ignoring, at least on the larger scale.
Yeah, no. I mean, I made this point off air, and I've seen this twice now. I saw it the first time, and I really, really liked it, and I saw it the second time, and it got even better. But it says a lot about the current market of film and the state of filmmaking in general, that I would much rather see a 2 hour and 40-some minute movie where people for most of its running time are just talking to each other. I'd much rather see that than ever see a fucking live action remake of a movie that I grew up with as a child. That's 100 minutes long, no less. Like, that says a lot about the state of filmmaking, not even just as as an art form, but as a medium for entertainment.
Right. So, of course, we'll move on to the plot now.
Sure.
So the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is the story of an actor, Rick Dalton, played by Leonardo DiCaprio, who's kind of fallen upon hard times, used to be on a big series called Bounty Law, and so now he's trying to reinvent himself and, kickstart his... God damn it. Dude, stupid! Embarrass yourself in front of all those goddamn people!
You practiced the lines, and now you're getting fucking the lines up, making them think you didn't practice the lines.
Yeah, so... I don't know what came over me. Sorry, I flubbed my line.
Yeah.
Very channeling my inner Rick Dalton. Anyway, he's trying to regain his career and regain his footing in the industry.
Right.
So that's really what the movie is. It's not super... Well, it becomes more complicated as it goes. Mm-hmm. And I would say that's the one gripe I had, and the one and only, really. It starts a little slow. I wouldn't say it stumbles out of the gate, but it just takes a while to really get going.
I felt the same way as I was watching it. I was like, this is good. And, like, there's nothing bad, but, like, it's really, it builds, and you gotta wait. You really gotta play the long game with this one. And by the ending, things really fall into place, and you're like, oh, okay, now I understand where you were going with this. And I gotta say, this might just be me, but the second time I saw it, and again, this is a 2 hour and 40-some minute movie. The second time I saw it, the pacing was a lot better. And it really flew by, and it was like nothing the second time. And it was even better.
Well, that's one thing I was gonna say is, it's a little slow, but at the same time, you're interested because Rick Dalton is a really human character. Yeah. And the weird part about him, and I think my favorite part about this character is, even though he's kind of a blowhard and kind of a jerk, he's still kind of likable and human. Because he's not a bad guy, even though he's, maybe a little bit much to deal with.
Yeah. You know what's weird is, like, they do this with... Are we doing spoilers or no? We might as well just...
Fuck it, let's just move on to spoilers.
Yeah, I mean, like, the funny thing about the dynamic between him and Cliff Booth, played by Brad Pitt, also fucking amazing. I mean, the acting in this all around is just like, God damn it, it's so fucking good. But, like, Leo's character is kind of, like, outwardly not a great dude. Like, he's always pissed off. But, like, on the inside, he's just, like, not a bad dude. Like, he hasn't done anything bad. Whereas Cliff Booth, like, outwardly seems like a really good guy. But, like, on the inside...
But then he's like, we don't know his... Like, I love that whole thing. It's just, like, an accepted rumor.
The guy killed his fucking wife, man.
Yeah. But, like, you don't know for sure.
Yeah.
And that's also very, like, Tarantino-esque, is, like, the hidden off-screen moments. It's like Reservoir Dogs. You don't see the robbery at all.
See, I was going to ask you, because this is a question I had, is you and Tarantino kind of have a complicated relationship.
Right, because I'm kind of hit or miss with him.
And I know, like...
But I respect the shit out of him overall, just as a movie maker.
Did this movie... I know, obviously, you liked it a lot, if not loved it. How did this movie affect your opinion of him overall, just as a filmmaker? Did it help it, or did it
helped
kind of the same?
It, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, but I would just... Well, I mean, this movie... Let's just be real. This movie was the best movie of the year so far by a county mile.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Well, because as we were saying about Rick Dalton and his character and Cliff's character, they're both complicated. Mm-hmm. They're not simple, and I'm missing that, where it's just, instead of, I'm an archetype for this stereotype or some bullshit, these are characters that have more nuanced ideas and like thoughts and emotions. It's a better movie.
Every character felt like that.
Yeah.
Like, every character felt like, oh, what's this guy's story?
Even that like little girl who was like acting with him. She kind of seems like a stuck up little asshole kid, but then
it was it's so good.
But then you realize she's just really into her acting and whatever.
Dude, that scene is so difficult because it's like the whole power dynamic of this scene is like she's the intellectual superior to Leo, and he's got to play like this big dumb like oh yeah okay, and like God, it's such a great scene.
Right.
Every character is really fleshed out and great.
This movie it does everything well. It looks fantastic. It's shot well. It even used jump cuts effectively, which is rare.
Dude,
the trailer scene, I wish none of that was in the trailer. Yeah. Because it's so fucking good. Or rather, to clarify, I mean, I wish none of that scene in the tractor trailer was in the trailers in the commercial. You know what I meant.
Oh my God.
As we mentioned earlier.
Dude, the period element. It is so goddamn immersive.
The attention to detail in the set design is incredible.
And like my dad, I saw this with my dad, who was like, my dad was born in 63, so like he was around for like this era, and like I was like, I asked him specifically like, how did you feel about it? He's like, oh fucking, it was exactly like that's what it fucking looked like that.
Right.
I'm like, wow, because you feel like it even if you weren't there.
That's what a good period movie should do.
Yeah.
It immerses you in the world entirely. And I couldn't help but sort of compare this to what the hell was that other movie about the 60s? Bad Times at the El Royale.
Yeah.
This felt like it did everything that movie was trying to do, but better.
Yeah.
Because
much smoother.
Well, it's because it's an encapsulation of the 60s, and it involved all this stuff like Bruce Lee, what's his face? Manson, Sharon Tate, and all
Hollywood.
that. And Hollywood at large. But the main focus was obviously on Rick Dalton.
It wasn't
Cliff
clunky.
Booth.
It wasn't clunky. Like, we're going to have this character represent the FBI, this character represent soul singers. And like, it's like, no, this is just going to be a story. Like,
right.
And there will be elements of all of that in there, but it won't be overt.
That Bruce Lee scene.
I know it's controversial.
I loved it. I kind of get a little bit of the backlash. I loved it, but at the same time, like the 13-year-old in me is like, no, Bruce Lee would kick his ass.
Yeah. I will say though, Mike Moe's evocation,
amazing. He really nailed
the shit out of that. Man.
I mean, I get that Bruce Lee was a little bit cocky in real life. Mm-hmm. I think they played it up a little, like laid it on a little thick. Like he wasn't a jerk. No, he was just confident in his abilities.
And I will say,
and he had abilities.
And I was glad the fight never got resolved.
Yeah, there was the knockdown rules, and then they each got one knockdown, and that was it.
You never got to see the best 2 out of 3.
I also love how that's just such a great character moment. Like, that's where you get that this Cliff guy is just really a douche. Yeah. I mean, not a douche, but like...
He's like willing, like, he is ready and willing, more than ready and willing to just beat ass. And like... you get that there's something kind of like not there with him. Yeah, it's like, dude, he got like Rick went out of his way to get you work on set, and you're just causing shit. Yeah, and he's like, but it's weird because he, again, at the end of the day, he is a good friend. Their relationship is fun to watch. Oh my God, the fucking scene where they're watching Rick's episode of FBI. Yeah, and they're just commenting on the fucking. Yeah, the guy like falls out of the truck.
It's like, yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah, like the other dude's like, yeah, that guy was a dick.
It's good stuff.
This is one of the only movies I've seen all year where the more I thought about it out of the theater, I was like, that fucking was really good.
Right. I thought like, wow, this has characters. It's shot well. It moves well. There's interesting story elements. The whole Spawn Ranch scene was great.
Real great tension.
You know what's so perfect about the tension? Did you notice the obvious kind of parallels to a Western movie?
Oh, hell yeah.
Of course. I mean, it's did you notice? It's super obvious, but it's done so well. Mm-hmm. It becomes a Western just for that little slice.
I would say, and also the climactic scene, I would say that goes down in like my top 3 favorite Tarantino scenes, like right next to like the pub or the what do you call it? The scene in Inglourious Basterds in the tavern and the pawn shop scene from Pulp Fiction. Because it's like so many different things going on at once, like horror, dramatic irony, comedy, like terror, like true crime. It's like so many genres in one scene, and he just pulls it off so brilliantly.
Well, okay, so then I'll talk about Margot Robbie a little bit. I think she played her part really well with the limited time she had.
Yeah.
And I think that was the right move not to make it such a focus.
You can tell he had great admiration for Sharon Tate, who, from what I understand, really was like that in real life. Just a really nice lady.
Yeah. And then, of course, now we get to the revisionist part of this movie.
You can also tell his affinity for Sharon Tate here.
Yeah.
Because he's not happy about what happened.
So Cliff does acid, and while he's smokes acid, I don't know. That's apparently
not possible.
Yeah.
But who cares?
It doesn't matter. So the bad guys are trying to get revenge from Spawn Ranch, and what is that girl's name? Because she was really good.
Which one?
The one who's like, they like taught us how to kill, man.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. But
that was freaking me out how accurate her inflection was to how people spoke back then. Just like based on documentaries I've seen of like hippies and stuff and like the Manson freaks and all that shit.
Yikes.
So they think they're going to pull one over on Rick Dalton.
Oh, no.
But Cliff Booth and Rick have other plans involving bashed faces, a dog, and a flamethrower.
Oh, my God.
I was cracking up when he came out in the flamethrower.
My theater was fucking howling.
Yeah.
It's like, Jesus. And it's like, what I loved is that it's the perfect distillation of the first scene. Cliff Booth carries Rick's load. He does most of the work, and then Rick gets the big hero shot with the flamethrower in the end.
You know what the best part about that was, too? When they show the footage of him trying out the flamethrower, he's like, whoa! He's like scared. He's basically scared of it.
Can't we do anything about the heat?
Yeah.
It's a flamethrower.
Yeah, it's a great line, too. And then here he is, just looks right at home doing it.
Yeah. It's so satisfying.
And I thought, that's how you end a damn movie. Mm-hmm. That's a climax. That is just a crazy scene in general.
Yeah, yeah.
And I just thought, there's something about the way Tarantino does, like, ultra-violence. Mm-hmm. And that's never, like, it's like, funny, but it's never pretty.
It's never pleasant to look at.
Yeah.
But it is, like, it's shot and edited in a way where you're like, oh, shit!
Yeah. And he just put together a masterful movie.
Yeah.
This was, like, I thought, what a breath of fresh air. Mm-hmm. I really hope that this helps change things not back the way they were, but...
steer us back towards course.
Yeah, just get more director...
centric.
Yeah, director-centric, director-auteur kind of movies. Mm-hmm. So, I guess we'll move on to scores.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's fucking amazing. It's an amazing film. Again, gripes, like, the more I think about this movie, the more and more it gets closer and closer to a perfect score, but it's close. It's just like, it's a little too long.
It's a little bit.
But, like, it's fucking really good. I give it a 9. It's really fucking good.
I actually give it the same. I give it a 4.5 out of 5 because... it's just like I wanted to give this a perfect score just because there's been so many shitty movies this year. But I can't do the rule contrast. I did notice it's just as you said, just a little slow at the beginning. Mm-hmm. But I was willing to forgive that because the set design, the characters, the tension, and everything else that they did was done perfectly well. So I'd give this 4.5.
Don't be surprised on my end, though, if we ever do a... What's the thing we do?
Revision scores at the end of the year.
If I do end up giving it a perfect score, because, hell, it might.
You know what? I'll make this vow. Since this year has sucked so badly, I will change it to a perfect score if there's nothing else that matches this.
Okay.
That's my promise for the end of the year episode.
Okay, so a 9 plus
a 4.5.
4.5, that's a 13.5 out of 15.
Pretty goddamn good.
For this year? Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah, it is.
All right. So that'll do it for our review of That Quentin Fella Sure Likes Feet. And now it's time for album recommendations. This time, I'm going to recommend the album Inagata de Vida by Iron Butterfly. Wait a minute. That sounds like rock and or a roll. Sure is. It's a fantastic album. What do you got?
Mine is it's another soundtrack. It is the soundtrack from the game Elder Scrolls V Skyrim by Jeremy Soule. It's a long album, but oh man, it's worth it. It puts you in it puts
how
you
long
right
is
there.
it?
I mean, it's
double disc of some kind?
Yeah, I mean it's probably over an hour.
Okay, so that's pretty long.
A lot of great, like, you know, if you're into like Lord of the Rings type like score orchestral shit.
Any 17-minute songs, including a drum solo, brah?
No, but there are some long ones.
Then it pales in comparison to Iron Butterflies and Agata Vita.
That's true, and none of the songs from Elder Scrolls V Skyrim soundtrack had been featured in the ending shootout to Manhunter by Michael Mann. So you got me there.
Well, whatever. I'll have to check this out. Wait, who's the guy who did this?
His name is Jeremy Soule.
What else he done?
He did the score for the Knights of the Old Republic games from way back in the day.
I know those games. I have not played them.
He's done a lot of stuff.
Okay, so it's like mostly video games?
He's done pretty much most of the Elder Scrolls games, so like Oblivion, cool. Morrowind, yeah. Good stuff. And
Iron Butterfly, they were featured in an episode of The Simpsons as well, as I referenced.
That is true.
Fantastic episode. I don't even remember what the hell I think it's the Bart Soul one. I can't remember.
I think so.
I think it's the begin. Yeah, because it doesn't matter. Whatever. So that'll do it for album recommendations. So that'll do it for our episode. Thank you for listening to Bonus Features with Alex and Robert. I'm Alex.
And I'm Robert.
This was episode 54. The comic book convention sort of kind of special. I fucked that up, but who cares? Anyway, moving right along. Thank you for listening. Or I just said that, whatever. So find us on our social media. You can find us on Shout Engine, YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, and iTunes. Thank you for helping me. All of those you can find by just simply searching Bonus Features with Alex and Robert.
Right.
Oh, yeah, and we're also on Twitter.
Oh.
Yeah, that's Bonus Features AR.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but the other ones, mostly.
Right.
Drop us a line. Do you like what we've been reviewing? Tell us. Disagree with what we think about things we've reviewed? Tell us. Agree? Tell us. Go ahead, drop us a line. So that'll do it. See you guys next time.